Okay, guys, we are live now. All right. Okay, so tonight we have a couple of guests for a couple of presentations. So we will go ahead and we'll start with them. That way, if they don't want to stick around, they don't have to. We're going to call the order at 5:30. All right, so we're going to start with Brittany. Do you want to go ahead and go first? Sure.
Should we roll call?
I already know who's here.
Oh.
I already got it down. Already started. All right.
All right. I'm Brittany Johnson. I'm owner of Sunshine Sips. I sell lemonade, fresh squeezed lemonade, and energy drinks. I'm fairly new to doing it. I run out of a tent right now. I want to possibly in the future, my goal is in a year to be mobile. But I have been talking with Paints Barbecue up at the Scott County Park, trying to get in with them up there, a permanent spot, same days as them, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, probably the same hours. Obviously, if we're slow, I can cut it, they kind of close when they sell out and stuff like that. But I'm hoping I could bring that to Kelowna, and I grew up out here. My parents actually probably live by you too, because they live at Peters, and my sister live out here still. So yeah, that's all I got.
Why don't you give us a little bit more about what is it just going to be like a lemonade type beverages, or what exactly are you going to have?
So it'd just be freshly squeezed lemonades, flavored, any flavor you want. There I have like 8 flavors. And then energy drinks, same thing. You can flavor them up. And that's all I have right now. I do plan to add like dirty sodas, other fun drinks possibly down the road. I'm trying not to do it too crazy at the beginning, so
Sure, get your feet on it.
yeah.
So she has been working with Chase. Chase absolutely supports it, thinks it would be great especially for those waiting in his lines and stuff that want to get drinks. And I'm sure the campers and the kids, Jen's a camper, so she knows too that her daughter probably said, "Mom, can I have $5 to all the time." And so, we've been going back and forth on email, but looking for some guidance from this committee on how, one, would there be a differentiation between a vendor permit? I think she would go beyond our conventional vendor permit with the fees, just because it would be a regular thing over the summer. And so 2, then if we were to do it, if we establish an agreement like we have with Paints just for the spot, what that would look like, probably full business license, written agreements. And she would I'd have to look into the COI part of it, the insurance part, but then how the city, we'd have to get the service tax, and so we'd have to incorporate that in your sales, because that would be the city's return on investment there to level the playing field. And I'm assuming, we do have another energy drink business in town, so it's always brought up, but you're probably going to operate outside of his hours. He's only open until 11:30, I think now. 6 or 7 days a week, so you're gonna probably be open later than that, right?
Yeah. Like 4 to 8 up there.
Get all the kids energized.
Well, and I should probably get back on. I was doing all that research on food trucks and seeing about looking at our ordinance for
Yeah, we need to
food
change
trucks.
that, yeah.
So we need to change that. Maybe I should get back on that.
Yeah, because
See.
I would like to, we've had discussions about this a lot over here and making considerations, but we also have the opportunity, and I have not approached the landowner yet, but if you're so willing, Jerry Cross now owns that it's not a new building, but that 3-plex there across from the Shell, and he's blacktopped it, he's redoing it all, it's beautiful, and it would be a great location for you to potentially, it would be between you and him.
Yeah.
I couldn't engage, but it would be a wonderful location for you to set up,
Mhm.
because it's a massive parking lot now.
Yeah.
It looks great. And so if you're interested in that, I can try to connect you to and see if he would be interested. He is putting a licensing business in there
Okay.
long-term, but he's looking at 2 other office spaces. And so I don't know if he would be interested in something like that. But that might be, that's the opportunity I wanted to
Yeah, that's definitely.
express to you. So from this group, what would you guys like to see as far as follow-up conversations with Brittany? Would you guys think a regular business license would be suffice with an agreement?
I would say so at this point, yeah, go ahead and go with the regular business license, and then we can move forward as we see where things progress in the business itself.
Then we would have to work out the sales tax and stuff, because that would be the
And
service.
you're not planning long-term to be in it with just a tent, right?
No.
Is it very short-term? Like, are you just gonna see how the summer goes, or what's your thought?
Well, I'm jumping the gun. I'm already looking into, it's like I wanted to start out with this, see how it goes. And now I'm just like, oh, it'd just be so much better with mobile.
I think it probably would.
Downstairs, I
Yeah.
I think it would probably suit you better. I think it would suit you better for a business to be probably easier.
Yes.
I could
For
see,
sure.
like, you did the yard sale days, how did that?
Well, I
No.
actually didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
it's a winter.
okay.
It was too windy. We got out there, everything was blowing around.
Which the truck would
Yeah,
then
yep.
help with that,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
It would,
I'm actually looking into that now, costs and stuff. I'm talking to someone who I bought I have a trailer now, but, just to haul the stuff. But, he's looking into what it would cost to make that mobile, so we're looking at that right now too, so. But yeah, it would be a lot easier just to pull up and be there,
Do just a 6
Add an hour setup, hour tear down.
yeah, I'd say do the summer and
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
maybe do like you said, a 6-month agreement and
Yeah,
see how it goes
Yeah.
and then
For sure.
help you find a spot.
Yeah,
as we work through that process, I'll get in touch with you for a regular business permit, and I'll have to talk to Jen on how we would do the sales tax and make sure that's done. Do you do that in any other location like Mullings? I think they get
no,
their,
because I jump around, just.
Right,
I've
right.
only done 2 events.
and so they get their revenues through the application fee then, which is how we do it too. We give it, it's like 50 days, $50 for a day, and then if you do a week, it's 200, and then it scales on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's how the city collects their part of that revenue, so.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Does anybody have any other questions? I think it'd be a great partnership. I'm excited for the opportunity. We'll see what it does.
For
Here's
sure.
my card
Okay,
for future endeavors, building processes.
okay,
What your future looks like, I can help you with all that.
okay. Sounds good.
That's the good news.
All right.
You can't, again, pardon my ignorance, but if she did kind of a permanent, I guess, a mobile permanent spot, does that qualify for TIF funds?
It depends on where it is.
So the back part of,
No, because TIF funds are only for eligible redevelopment costs. And so it wouldn't be for new construction or building from the ground up. It would only be for land acquisition, eligible upgrades, things like that. So I'm happy to double check on it, but I'm pretty confident that I've been through it enough and scoured it enough that it would be, it's for brick and mortar, blight, things like that versus mobile.
so, and I'm just spitballing, but if you're thinking about Chase and you're thinking about the campground, by the shed, like the backside of the campground, right, is in the TIF.
I'd have to look at the drawings to see where that crosses.
I'm wondering, and I'm almost, so it's not for new builds?
No, you can't do any new build with TIF money.
How do we help that massage?
It was all
Land
infrastructure.
acquisition. Yeah, so it was the land, right, site acquisition.
It was all land and water sewer hookups. That was it, which was a significant amount. I don't mean just that.
Oh, yeah,
It was quite a bit.
And Brad's going through that now.
90% of your TIFs right now, we're doing land
okay.
and acquisitions and infrastructure, so.
Yeah, and there's nothing there that we can help. Okay.
I think it'd be great.
Oh, yeah, I do too,
But
yeah.
I do happen to know a few maybe mobile trucks in the area that might be for sale.
Okay,
And I have financed mobile trucks,
okay,
right? It's not unusual for me to do stuff like that, so keep my name and number there. 'Cause I can
Yeah.
certainly-
He's got opportunities. I don't know if your low financing offers are available for trucks, Jim,
Yeah.
but he does have very low financing
Yep.
offers.
So,
cool.
good thing you were here today.
Yeah, I'm glad I came. Yeah, I'll reach out and then you can send me what you got.
Yep, I can hook you up with business plans, how to run a business, everything that you probably won't, wait, how do I do that? Like, how do we do the taxes? I can help you with all that.
I don't know anything.
I
Hey,
know.
I'm freshly new, so I'm learning.
The cool thing is, my job is to say yes to everything you want, we just gotta figure out how to do it.
Yeah,
So that's what we'll do,
okay,
take the stress off.
sounds good.
Yeah, Jim's helped me quite a bit in my business, so
Okay,
definitely.
cool,
A good resource.
Yep.
awesome.
Excellent.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for
We look forward to
Yeah.
working with you.
Take
Well, shall, in the meantime, should I get the business license?
No, hold on that, because we
Hold
can do that quick.
Okay.
Let me reach out to our corporate counsel to see what that agreement looks like and
Okay.
how quickly we can get that put together based on where you want to be out there. And right now it's just the patio, right? You were going to set up in the corner of the
Yeah,
patio.
There was there's like, right off to by the pond back there was like 2 trees. I was
Okay.
thinking maybe right there,
Okay,
shaded.
that'd be perfect. And then that health department permit that you received, was that a one day or is that?
It was a 1 day.
So you'll have to get something
Yeah.
more permanent then.
Yeah,
So that'll be helpful. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Have your email address?
yes, it's B as in boy, Johns, JOHNS, 711 at Yahoo.
Okay. I'll shoot you a quick email just for introduction, contact and stuff like that, and
Cool,
we'll go from there.
sounds
Because I
good.
come with the health department, any issue with the health department, we work together with that stuff.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yep.
Sounds good. All right,
All right,
thank you
thanks so
guys.
much.
Thank you.
All right, the next one up is Brad Goddard with Revolut Machine. And Mayor Johnson sent a copy of the TIF application to you guys this weekend as well. So I forgot to include that with the
Is
agenda.
that too much of a glare?
No, it's okay.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, so I know some of you, but my name's Brad Goddard. I actually intended to bring my partner and sister Lisa with me, but she's got this, whatever it is that's going around.
Oh, yeah, that's going around everybody.
She's not in a good way today.
Just don't say haunt about it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just gonna be me. So my plan here today is kind of give you guys a little high-level intro to our business and how we operate, and then talk about the project that we're looking to do. So start off kind of, go way back in time, kind of where we got our start in manufacturing. So both me and my sister worked in a little machine shop that my dad started kind of as a hobby, and that's where we got our kind of manufacturing itch. After that, high school, I graduated, I went to Western Illinois, got a manufacturing engineering degree. And then I ended up working for robotic integrator over at North for about 20 years. My sister, she worked in a number of different machine shops around town, gained some experience there. And then this old shop at my dad's place he was just sitting idle, he kind of got out of it. So she started going in nights and weekends, working just to make a little bit of extra money, had this idle equipment just sitting there. Was going along doing that, starting to do a little bit of traction. And then kind of where we started to come back together was 2020, 2021, manufacturing world was just going crazy, it was a mess. And at my day job, we needed extra help. So I got tasked with going around regionally and trying to find shops to help us. And I was really struck then just how little had changed since I'd gotten out of it, 20 years earlier. You walk into the average shop here in the Midwest and it's like walking back in time 20, 30 years. And with my automation experience, I was like, boy, I feel like I could do something different and better here. So started working with her, getting her connected to some better work and growing it from there. And really at that time, I was just trying to help her out, get her feet under her. And it really started to work. I was like, oh, I might need to leave my 20-year job because I think we got something here. So 2023, I left that, started full-time, really started doubling down on automation and stuff like that. And that kind of leads us to where we are today. So really what's driving a lot of our growth is, if you read any manufacturing, trade magazines, whatever, there's a problem. We don't have enough capacity in the US. It's similar to a lot of industries. A lot of the people are retiring, just not enough people to serve the need. And really the demand for US manufacturing is going up pretty steadily. So we're being able to capitalize on a lot of that. And really where we kind of differ from a lot of other places around here, we've said, no, we're gonna buy these multi-$100,000 machines. We don't want to run them 8 hours a day. We want to run them as close as we can to 24/7. So what we've got going is we're loading our machines with robots. Like both my machines right now, they're running. There's nobody at the shop. So we're using robots to load those. They run 24/7, at least as much as we can. And that combination of things has been really, really successful for us. It lets us quote the work competitively, still be very, very profitable. It's driving a lot of growth for us. So yeah, this is what we're talking about. This is one of our machines where we've got the machine that actually cuts the metal. And then over here sitting next to it is the robot that's loading parts in and out at night while we're not there.
They have them all reindeer, and every
Yeah.
time I go into a facility and I see them, I'm like, this is just insane.
It's
just,
amazing, isn't it?
technology.
Yeah, and I spend a lot of time in those deer facilities with my little job, just building that stuff out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep, so where we've really capitalized and where the growth really seems to be is in really aerospace and primarily space. So if you look at this, the real core sector that we're serving is satellites. And if you look at kind of what's driving that, you look at it and like, how many tons of stuff did we put into outer space in a given year? Look here, 2015, we were about 300 tons. Today, we're about 2,000, and we're projecting it's gonna go from there. So all those parts,
Amazing.
it's what we make. So that demand is there and it's strong. So kind of where we're at today, we're a little bit beyond this now. We're just a little bit past $1 million of revenue. We've got 3 machines, 4 full-time employees, a couple of part-time ones. And we currently have about 5,000 parts, probably closer to 6 or 7 now. They're actually in orbit right now. So talking about, again, where we're at today and where we think we're going. We think in the medium term, I'm going to get my dates a little bit off, but we're driving towards 8 to 10, good full-time jobs. I think that's phase 1 of our project that we're talking about. And I think I've probably got another phase and we're getting to 18 to 20 employees. And one of the great things about us is, yeah, we're growing and we're bringing a lot of work, but all the work we're bringing in, just about everything we ship out, we're not stealing work from somebody across the street. We're bringing new work into the area. So it's not like we're cannibalizing other businesses around here.
So you're looking at things that could potentially help other growth
Right.
opportunities, people stopping to get lunch when they're coming to pick a load up, things like that. So that can impact other gas, fuel.
Right. And really one of the challenges we have is doing this kind of aerospace work. We don't have a great network of supporting industries around here, like some of the metal coatings and stuff. It's just not done around here. I'd love to get, there's another shop around here, hey, what are you guys doing? I'd be like, yeah, come here and look at this because we need to do more of this here. Because you start to get to that critical mass of all the supporting industries.
That's Medicoat out there in East Moline. They were kind of a little before their time, weren't they? Because now they went under and now their powder coating is really getting big.
Right, 100%. So, okay, so now we're on to the project that we're talking about. Anybody got any questions about kind of our business and how we make our money? Okay. So I don't know how familiar you guys are with this property, but it's out on the other side of Route 6. Basically, this is how it looks today. Just kind of being used as general storage. And here's a very elegant drawing of what we're looking at doing. But the high level of it is this is a 4.9 acre parcel right now. That's really more than we need. So you're pushing split in this parcel, roughly 60 feet off this building. There's approximately 3 and then 2 on the side. And then you're, doing some driveway parking. Basically, this building it's about half the building right now. The previous owners of it looks like they put the building up, and my take on it was they were just cash flowing the build out. As they got some money, they were doing more stuff. And then Aaron bought them, and things have just stopped there. So you got a building shell, it's got a little bit of insulation, it's got a floor, but no sewer, no water, really not anywhere near the kind of electricity you need to bring in all that kind of stuff here. And then, looking a little bit down the road, but I think we've got a good opportunity in the next several years to add on another 10,000 square feet. That kind of fits my ambitions with where I want to go with the business. And once we do that, that's where we're kind of walking towards that, 18, maybe 20 employees.
Where's your business now?
So we are currently, we're technically in Coal Valley, but we're almost Orion. I don't know if you guys know where Warren Castle is.
Mm-hmm.
We're very close to that. Just got it out and that building out there, and you never know we were there. So
Okay. You get a lot of semi-traffic for shipments?
it is, we generally kind of on average probably get 3 to 4 semis a week just material in. And then most of our stuff just goes out in UPS. So we're bringing big pieces of material and ship out tiny little pieces of material. So here's kind of what we're looking at. And so we're looking at this, buy this property, get water and sewer service to it, bring in a pretty healthy 3-phase electrical service. HVAC for the shop. We do need to heat and cool the shop to keep our processes under control. Finish building out the interior, do restrooms, site cleanup, just generally clean up the site. We're looking at somewhere between 900 and 1.2 to do that. And then, further down the road, which is, I just add that on because hey, this is our ambition here. I think we got that. We're not really talking about that for the scope here, but, talking about that other 10,000 square foot addition. I'd like to think we're in 3 to 5 years we're doing that. So here's our asset right now. We're looking for $250, roughly 25% of this project. The water source we're talking about a number of different options. But our primary task is to extend that water and sewer to that property. With what Brian and Brian and I are talking, turns out that's a fairly big ask. So we're looking at alternatives. One of those maybe septic and well service on here, just as a an alternative solution to that problem. So still working to do that. Not 100% sure where it's in the land right now. So yeah, here's what we're talking about. The jobs we're going to create, and we're bringing into the region. So again, this is the big thing I'm talking about. We are bringing in new work into the region. We're not seeing work from across the street. It's all of our customers, for the most part, are generally on the West Coast. Our jobs are quality, not quantity. I think a traditional, somebody that wanted to build the kind of business I was that is doing the kind of revenue without the information. Those are going to be 40, just barely over wage jobs. I'm sitting here saying, I don't want to talk about half of that, but these are all going to be good living wage jobs. Generally speaking, if I got a guy with any kind of experience, we're in this 65 to 80K range. And if they can grow beyond that and take on a little bit of management responsibility, supervising other people, we're heading towards 100 plus.
Supervising robots.
Right. Robots need nowadays, supervision.
Right.
Like more.
Yeah. Everybody's like, yeah, robots don't call in sick. I was like, oh, I guarantee you robots.
Robots falling sick for longer than
Yes. Yep. robots don't heal on their own. And another thing we really believe in is we really like hiring kids fresh out of school. Find that kid that's enthusiastic about building stuff, wants to work with his hands, wants to do cool stuff with technology. Those are the kids we target and try and hire. Love to brag on this kid. He actually graduated from Bettendorf High School, was a friend of mine's son. We brought him in. He'd taken some general tech classes, but after he's there for 6 months, I haven't programmed or set up a program. He's doing some very, very complicated stuff. Barely 2 years in. And it's just see what he's able to do. It's like, it gives you chills sometimes. Holy cow, this 19-year-old kid is doing some pretty amazing stuff. So that's really real fun to see. Okay, that's all I got. So, questions, I guess.
I asked mine along the way. I'm excited. It's a
I
good,
think this could be a
Yeah.
good addition.
I really hope that we can find a way to make this work.
Yeah, absolutely.
so your jobs would be, technology based, so it would be programming and,
Programming, again, managing robots. I'm not gonna say that we won't have any kind of lower end jobs. There's always gonna be the busy work to do, that you can't automate. That's,
is it pretty similar to like programming like CNC machines and so it's pretty,
yeah,
still pretty, I mean, is
yeah,
it?
it's even the lowest paid jobs in our world. You would look at that from the outside and be like, this is pretty
That's
pretty tech heavy.
But
Yeah.
programming those machines are pretty intense anyway. But no welding, no.
No. Will we have welders in the building? Sure, probably. That'll be more for like just random stuff. I'm not really interested in doing contract welding work.
No, yeah.
It's a very clean operation. I've
Yeah.
been to Brad's shop a couple times. Very clean, very organized. Brad's being kind of humble. He's well recognized in the Quad Cities for what he does. Works directly with Chris Caves, Quad City Chamber, employment growth. Just won a recent award down south through a program where he did a presentation, and he was the grand prize winner of that as well, based on what he does. And this is cool stuff. I don't know if you really read between the lines, but this stuff's going into space.
Oh, yeah. I
did.
I did actually, I was sitting there thinking, I always look for what I like to call teachable moments, because I homeschool my daughter and we tour facilities all the time just to look for those. I sat here thinking, wow, those parts of teachable moment. Talk to you about touring your shop.
That open invitation, obviously, anybody that has any interest, more than happy to have anybody stop by and I'll show you around and show you.
That's
firsthand
pretty
what we're doing.
So where Brad and I are at, where we've been communicating back and forth, is specifically related to the water and sewer and the feasibility of that. And we're basically down to exploring how mutually beneficial it would be. We recognize that it would be, but can we, within our TIF, absorb that kind of an expense at this point? And the fact of the matter is, not this year. Because we have, I want to say give or take 600, I got to check with Jim Legree on that, in the funds that could be used for TIF projects. And so we've got to make sure that we not only, I don't want to preface, I told him, he knows I completely support this a lot, actually. But that we still have, we don't want to bankrupt ourselves this year. Next year, we'll have additional funds, and then the TIF does unfortunately expire. I'm still working on that. And the extension, I met with everybody on this committee already to show some ideas about where that could go. But before that, where I'm going is that we do have expenses falling off the backside of the TIF this year. We're not going to pay Blackhawk State Bank, which is a substantial portion of our TIF expenditures annually. I think it's 400,000 plus, which will be freed up next year on top of what we currently get just in our EAV proceeds. So I do see funds, biggest thing he needs help with right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brad, are the water, sewer, and then site acquisition. And so he is open to phases, which would be probably beneficial here. So like when he makes the ask of 250,000, we could be looking at something maybe we give him 125 after the acquisition's done, because it's only reimbursed. We only do it afterwards. But then he builds out his project within a year. I think that's what you think, Q1 next year, Q2 next year,
Yeah, it's probably, I mean,
potentially.
Yeah, well,
So then he would build out that second phase of getting, meaning not that phase 2, the second building, but within, he would make the upgrades. And then once he shows that he's in and he's taking full occupancy, then we could, then reimburse him the next go around. But, so those are the two, or am I missing anything in the conversations?
you generally got it correct there, yeah.
So if this committee supports it, then I'll continue to work with Brad, on this agreement. We'll get something drafted up, and really we gotta finalize the details on the water and sewer, and it does, it's a formal agreement, contract, much like we did with TJMJ.
Is there a way for him to do a well and septic?
Yeah, we're researching it technically based on the fact that we are so far away right now. City code requires 200 feet, to the sewer, and we're thinking 300-ish, to the sewer hookup. Can't remember water. The water, I think, is 400,
Yeah.
and so he's beyond that.
That would be really more cost effective.
It would be for him to do the water and sewer. The thing is that something that's a cause for concern, I wish I had a crystal ball, because I would love to continue to see us pursue growth down that road. So that's where that road would come in and be mutually, the sewer line would be mutually beneficial. But is if we run it, when per our ordinance, we get within so many feet of it, then he's required then to hook on. So he's trying to, if he
He's
does,
only required to hook on once he has a fault in.
is that what it is?
Yeah,
it's
so
like,
it would be if his septic then went down, failed, then he would be required to hook on.
So I didn't read that in the ordinance, but I'm wondering, to piggyback what you're saying, I'm wondering if we can make that part of an agreement.
That would make
Anyway.
sense with what we've got going on with some of the residents over in Level Acres.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because some of them are still, wow.
Yeah.
because as long as they don't have a failure, they can't replace it once. But once you're within 200, I thought it was 250
It's
feet.
200 to the sewer, we just looked it up.
Okay, to the sewer, and 200 to the water, 250 to the water.
Yeah, and that might be county, because our ordinances say stay silent on the water, we couldn't find that language.
Yeah, so it'd be,
Counties.
you wouldn't be required, so if you put it in,
Yeah.
as long as you didn't have a failure, which if you only have 10 employees, even if you had 20, I mean,
That
it
should
wouldn't be very hard on a
Mhm.
septic or a well, so.
And, I mean, if that situation is true, that's way more palatable, because if I'm like, well, you're gonna have to put in another septic system and redo a bunch of everything anyway. Or you just dig a longer trench and connect to the sewer that's already there.
Right,
Have you spoke to the health department?
Yeah.
What was their,
Generally, yeah, they were, told them, hey, we're this far away. Yeah.
so they don't have any special requirements because it's a machine shop or anything like that?
Not that I know of right now.
Okay, and you're not going to be producing any odd water or anything?
If anything odd, we already get it pumped and hauled away.
You collect it?
Like our old coolant goes in a holding tank and
Okay.
Clean comes and gets it anyway, so.
You're probably on a septic in a well where you're at,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
It works just fine.
so,
So, I mean, I guess my overall statement on that is probably have a slight preference to be connected to city services. But it's not a requirement, I mean, especially if we can chart our way towards, what,
it'd probably be more cost effective not to be attached at the moment.
well, for sure, that is correct,
Yes.
because it is substantially cheaper, because we're looking, Miller rough, he gave us a rough, right, like what's it looking at, and it might be where you got the numbers, but when we add manholes and things that we would need, it would be closer to 200,000.
Yeah,
And so he's
And he-
75, it's just a
Yeah,
weird
I would
ballpark.
say 50 to 75 for a well,
Yeah.
50 probably.
Yeah.
so it would definitely be more cost effective. And basically those slides that I'm asking for 250 and help with the sewer and water, I think that means, hey, I'm just asking for 250 and I take the whole project and just make it work. So, again, I could go either way, but.
I mean, we wouldn't have the revenue for the water and the sewer right now, but
Right.
I also,
So-
Brett?
it would be good for him,
I don't-
business wise.
I don't consume that much water either, so it's like,
Yes, I don't think it would be all that much
I'm
of a
probably not
draw
consuming
anyways.
much more water than the average household.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, when you're looking at it from a city standpoint versus a you standpoint, it would be better for you to do a septic and a well. Probably better for the city if you did.
Long-term, because that is like looking, if we had a crystal ball, we want to see that growth,
Oh, yeah.
you know, like as part of our comprehensive plan, we're looking at growing that area. In fact, it's been built for that, right? That's why they created the roadway the way they did to handle the semi-traffic and
But
so.
because of the TIF closing and being done and the potential for it to be over, then it'd probably be better to do a well and a.
Yeah, let's cross our fingers we don't get that done, but we don't have that happen, but yeah, what we're facing today, yes, you're absolutely right.
Well, like I said, if we can get some more projects in, we can look into adding if we do go with the well, then we can always add that sewer and water line if we as we start getting more interest in business in that area that needs that. And then it can be offered over to him as we add on to it.
And especially if that's true, like, if I have a problem with one of my systems, then I'm compelled to connect.
Yeah.
That's a completely different story than.
Right.
Just out of nowhere, yep, you got 90 days, you gotta hook up, so.
Right.
Probably worth a little bit more research there, but, even when I was talking to Brian, it's like, part of my concern with, if I do a septic system, all my stuff's going out the back of the property. And if I'm compelled to hook up to the sewer now, I'll switch directions and go to the front. And if I don't plan that, well, that could be very expensive.
Mhm.
All that stuff.
What about, bonding it?
Bonding it
Like
from
if
a
we did
city
a bond
perspective.
from the city perspective?
I would have to look to see what degree of debt we could take on, because we already have that one open bond and that, so it'd be ultimately a Jen question there as to whether or not it could be something, because
I
it
mean,
would
if
be
we're
nice to
looking
run
for-
it all the way down, right? Like to run it
Yeah,
to
like what,
our road.
because who else would be out there that,
Well, Brant owns the land south of there and he's been moving dirt. I don't know what they're doing, but then beyond that, I can't remember who the owner is of the big property at the furthest, and that's not in Kelowna city limits, it stops before that, but you never know, right? Because when we look at our
always
comprehensive,
incorporate it.
exactly, when we look at our comprehensive plan, we look a mile and a half beyond every direction, right? And so like that is definitely within,
Yeah.
it's been talked about, like, well, what can we do to get more light industrial there, right? Something that would be still complementing, like Stonebridge across the street, which, you know, like when you talk about truck traffic and that's great, and that's gonna be music to the ears for the residents that live up there and stuff. So if this committee supports it, what I would like to do is start the conversations with Kathy Orr to get an agreement going. And then you and I can continue to work out the details on the water sewer. Ultimately, it's gonna be your decision there. But this will be contingent upon, whether we're gonna approve this, right, one, and then he will then engage in final talks with tenant to actually procure the property, but he wants to make sure that we are ready to go and in full support. And so the agreement would be contingent upon, if I'm saying it incorrectly, upon council approving the TIF. One thing I gotta check with her is if we can approve a TIF agreement for something you haven't bought yet. But if we can gain, I think council's gonna be aligned. I don't think there's gonna be an issue here. This is a wonderful project and it certainly does help the Strickland resident. I mean, that's wonderful too, that you're building a business in your hometown. So that's a wonderful thing. So, but we can always, we can actually, present it during our committee of the whole and gain that for you and then go from there. But at least that way you have a roadmap.
Yeah, probably got some questions about that roadmap. So my preference on I don't know if this is possible or not, but what I'm working on doing is drafting up a purchase agreement to Aaron right now. And in a perfect world, I would have that purchase agreement is going to be contingent on a number of things. I would like to get to the point where all of those contingencies are taken care of, except signing this TIF agreement with you folks. And then basically, as soon as I sign that TIF agreement, it triggers the purchase agreement to just close it and just all goes through.
Okay,
That would be my preference.
okay.
And then, beyond that, I probably have some, and we can talk about this here offline, is what is the order of operations from Kelowna's standpoint? Like,
So the next steps would be this agreement. It's a formal agreement that we actually have a TIF attorney in place. She can cite these or draft them up. And you and I have a back and forth about the wording of the agreement, phases. It's pretty specific. Because again, it has to be used for eligible redevelopment costs. And then there are generally timelines built in. You've got a great reputation. You precede yourself, obviously, so I'm not worried about that, but we'll still have them in there, just to make sure that we're following timelines. Even if, again, so next year's 2027, just to be sure, I think I did mention this, say we do phase it, like that's where we settle. We give 100, so I'm just throwing this out there, 100 now, 150 later, whatever. Even though the TIF expires December 31st of next year, any agreement that's in place, it doesn't matter. As long as the work's getting done, it's fine. The money stays.
That's good, because my attorney's like, are you sure you know that?
10,000%. The 10,000% is okay.
Okay.
So whatever timelines we build in there, even if it was built in.
10%.
So, what's that?
That's a big percent.
Yeah, so like so at the end of the day, you're good to go. We're doing that with City Hall right now. We have a closed TIF over here that we have money that's been dedicated to City Hall improvements, and it's closed. So,
Yeah, for what it's worth, I can't imagine how this would possibly go beyond 2027.
Yeah.
We moved in there.
things happen. Things happen, right? And so that's next step. So then when we get the agreement, it would go before our committee of the whole with recommendation of the Economic Development Committee. And then they would catch approval. The one thing I need to check on is whether or not you can technically sign before you sign the purchase agreement. So like that would be, I need an attorney's advice on that. If not, it might just be through the cow, we'll work it out. Like, she's great to work with. She'll answer our
Yeah,
questions.
and I think what we're looking to do is sensible. I mean,
Yeah.
I almost imagine I show up to the closing with this and I've got 2 pieces of paper to sign.
Sure, right. Okay, so I don't envision hurdles, but I just want to ask,
Yeah.
make sure we're doing it correctly.
Are you using Bank Orion?
Yes.
Okay, so Kevin Grant,
Brad, primarily, I talked to him earlier this week.
okay.
Good.
Good news is, we have a strong relationship, City of Kelowna, with TIFs, so they will have the whole thing put together.
Yeah.
They can make miracles happen.
Yeah, we're gonna chase some Advantage Illinois stuff.
That's what I was gonna ask you as well, it's gonna use AI as well.
The biggest thing, and probably what I'm gonna do next after some general positive feedback here, Bank Orion was wanting an environmental study done, so I'm probably gonna roll the dice and kick that off, because I know that takes a little bit of time, so I'm gonna try and be strategic in what I work parallel here, so.
All right. Alignment, okay to move forward with Kathy?
I think so.
Do we need to make a motion at all or no?
Yeah, I'd like to formalize it, make a motion that we move forward with the
I would make a motion that we move forward with
TIF
approving the
project,
TIF,
moving forward with the TIF agreement, yeah.
TIF agreement
For Revolut machine.
for Revel.
I would second.
With your student population at UT and Geneseo, and I know UT has the robotics team
Yeah.
and career fairs, that would be awesome.
Yeah. In fact, the kid starts Monday, it's graduating Geneseo right now, that I got out of their CNC program. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Did you vote?
I did.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't
good.
hear
Oh, we did?
it. You did?
Well, you guys made the motion.
You're assuming you're a yes.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
All right, thank you, Brett.
Yeah.
Well done.
I usually do a roll call.
If there was more than just like the 2 or 3 of us, I'd be, but I'm not terribly concerned about being that formal
Look
about it.
forward to talking to you here offline. We'll get it out.
Yeah.
So, as soon as I get the going.
What's your, just because I'm trying to put a project timeline together, I know we can't predict it, but what's your best guess at, like, from here to first sign-in, or we have the ability to
Oh,
sign?
we could probably get it to full council by the end of June for approval.
Okay, let's handle that.
Brad, it'd be quicker than Advantage Illinois, I guarantee.
Yeah, that's,
So, she's like he just said, and there's like the bank's familiar with our TIF, the agreements are all the same.
Yeah.
She can do this in her sleep. We just gotta work out the details, make sure it aligns with your timeline, make sure the numbers work for you, make sure we identify how you wanna do
okay,
water and sewer, and then we'll go from there.
yeah, because my banker did tell me to plan on 4 months, which
Yeah, so we're looking 2 months for us to get the TIF agreement all done. By the time you work, what you need to work out and get the agreement to council for approval.
You guys aren't the top pole in the tent, it's probably advantage of.
Yeah, it's, I guarantee it's probably gonna be done.
Yeah.
Probably be your environmental study.
Could be that.
That could be too. I'm not super worried about that, I'm a little worried about that.
Well, I'm just worried about them coming out to do it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Cool.
Excellent.
Always good seeing you, Brad.
You too,
Yes.
Jim. That is indeed. You don't like seeing your smiling face.
We look forward to working with you.
Yes,
We should chat more about the park.
Yes, we should. yes, we should. Do you have my number?
I don't, but I can give you. I can hang out for a little bit, I don't know if there's.
This shouldn't take too much longer.
Yeah, I can hang out. We can chat after.
I'm hoping to finish up here in the next 20 or so minutes.
15? Sounds great.
All right, so next up, we'll go with public comments. Are you gonna add something here, or do you wanna wait and go with the ADT relay, Laura?
That's totally up to you. I have about 4 or 5 different items to touch on, so.
Okay, well, we'll start with everything, and we'll end on the ADT, then we can kind of.
It's
lead
like
into
an
that.
hour.
No, I'll make it quick, Jen. I've already seen enough of you today. Do you want me to go ahead then?
Go ahead.
So of course I would have to follow rocket ship.
Sorry.
I'll go briefly through my notes that I had prepared for tonight since you guys are in a hurry. So I attended via Zoom meeting, March 26th for the Bi-State Regional Trails Committee meeting, and that covered American Discovery Trail. Dave Whitson zoomed in from Spain to discuss the ADT relay and its estimated arrival in the Quad Cities around October 7th or 8th. So Dave's main question was if there was going to be a Quad City organization that would kind of take the lead on celebrating the event. So I also attended the meeting with Brittany Wells with Visit Quad Cities. We are friends. I took my training with her. So she has been in contact with me, and she said Visit Quad Cities, the Union Station in Davenport, would take the lead as the lead organization that would celebrate this event if no other major organization would step up. Now, listening and sitting in on this meeting, we are competing, obviously, a lot of times with the TBK recreation activities, Davenport, Bettendorf area. So not that we're not important. I feel like Dave is kind of waiting out what is going to be the biggest organization that's gonna celebrate what we're doing. So Brittany said, unless we hear from someone else, we're gonna do it at Union Station. However, Dave did email again a follow-up saying, I'll just read what he wrote. He said, we will have registered participants carrying the baton through Kelowna. I don't know what our numbers will be. They certainly won't rival the RAGBRAI. The current trend, which I expect to continue, is that the relay is filling primarily with day hikers and riders, mostly for one day, though some for a few. My hope is that we'll be able to draw a larger crowd for the Davenport area. Since it's walker friendly, but my hunch is that even a robust turnout through Kelowna wouldn't mean more than 20 people. On October 7th, we would likely reach Kelowna around 4 to 5 p.m. Walking pace will influence that, as will a potential welcome event in Moline. But that seems realistic for us. On October 8th, I would expect a departure in the 8 a.m. Range. So he's still really not totally clear as to exactly what is he doing in Kelowna, how long, where is he staying? Are they just, is it just gonna be more ceremonial that they pass through Kelowna and then they get back out on maybe Route 84 and continue on to the cities? I'm not exactly sure. Brittany will keep in touch with me, as will Dave, as to more specifics. As it looks right now, to Dave's estimation, it could look like if we wanted to get residents together on the canal with lawn chairs and wave and maybe offer water or lemonade or wave a flag, which is all cool. Even if it's 20 people, that's cool. His timeline is still a bit shaky, but we have until October to work those kinks out. So moving on to the next thing, also at that meeting, a new Quad City Metro bike map is being designed and made. And this year it is including Kelowna. The Hennepin Canal Trail, as I've been saying for several years, is really becoming more popular. It's in all the conversations when you talk about cycling through the Quad Cities. As they were discussing the new pamphlet and bike map, they are encouraging communities that have biking. That's our number one draw for recreation, is that we become more bicycle friendly. And by that, it's mostly restaurants. They'd like to see bike racks. They'd like to see signage. They'd like to see the road painted so that you can veer off the bike path very quickly, go over to this restaurant if you follow the lines, safely. So we have to be more welcoming and encouraging to the bicycle community. And once someone rides our bike path and finds how easy it is to veer off and go to Dairy Queen or go to Glazed for something to drink and then have a picnic or stop for a drink, they spread that information on their sites and their blogs for biking. The Hennepin Canal Parkway through Kelowna, you can't complete. A lot of people will only ride it if they can say they completed it. You can't complete it without coming all the way through Kelowna and ending at Lock 29 at the Rock River. So we are drawing people. I don't even think we realize how many people we draw. And through this trails organization, we could also sign up to get a counter. If we ever were curious how many visitors we have passing through our bike path, we can get a counter.
Free?
We can get it free.
Right.
And with that study would lead us to more information and expose us to more opportunities. But I don't know how your business meeting is going with the area businesses, but if that's something that, we could put out there to them, it could be as simple as just a really nice bike rack, for starters. So, moving on. So the Henry County Tourism Annual Dinner was held at Lavender Crest on April 9th. Kelowna got to flex with having the venue location in our city. Our recreation, again, a bike path was highlighted in a slideshow. We did some networking and we had vendor booths that we walked around and got to meet people in the tourism industry. Mayor Johnson and myself attended this dinner. It was the first annual dinner. And actually today at our meeting, we talked about how we could better the dinner for next year. Inspire Continuing Care Facility in Geneseo reached out to Mayor Johnson, in return reached out to me. They are having their residents do a passport travel kind of activity. They're going to visit different cities in the Quad Cities. They're going to learn about some history, look at some landmarks. The director is going to make some really neat little passport books for them. Some of them have disabilities, but they're going to do this really neat little travel segment. And they have chosen Kelowna as one of their go-to cities. And they'd asked that I do an itinerary for them, in which I did. Again, I won't bore you, I know you're in a hurry, but I would like to quickly tell you that itinerary. And I will tell you, preparing that itinerary, it really humbled me in realizing that there's not a lot of things that are accessible. I had to think about wheelchair accessibility, parking with wheelchair accessibility, getting to the area with a wheelchair. So I did put together stop number 1, the Brandenburg Tavern historical site. I gave the director a little thing that she could read and some photos of the history behind that. Number 2, a scenic drive along Hennepin Canal Parkway. They can drive, stop, stay in the van, look at the canal, learn about the history of the canal, go to the end of, go to the Rock River. They can learn about the ferries that used to be here in the 1800s in Kelowna. It's a big part of our history. I don't know if you know about that, but before there were bridges, they were crossing the Rock River to go do their commerce on ferries. And Kelowna had, I think, 3 of them, at least 3.
Which organization did you say this was?
This is, I believe it's Inspire.
Inspire.
Yeah, Inspire. It's a facility in Geneseo. They are going to end with they're going to end their scheduled stops for a picnic at the Veterans Memorial Pavilion, where they will bring in a picnic. I thought the parking lot would be accessible for their van. They could hop on the bike path. It could be accessible to come up to the pavilion and the picnic tables. They could have a picnic, look at the canal, take some pictures. I gave them some optional stops if time allowed, that they could visit Lavender Crest Winery and go look at the garden and the patio and maybe look at the vineyards and take a little tour of the gift shop. I also included Scott Family Park if they had time. I thought they could stay in the van and maybe drive around and look at the pond and see if they can find the resident, white swans out there and would give them something peaceful to end their afternoon. So that's their itinerary. Let's see, quickly, I will go over one more. I think there was a few more things. And we went over the dinner, the field trip, and then lastly, the Kelowna beautification team obviously has the piano bar fundraiser this Friday. I don't know if anyone has any questions or concerns, but I'd like to see everyone there if they're able to make it.
What time is it?
It starts at 6 p.m., 6 to 9.
Be a circus, sorry.
You'll be in the circus?
Yeah.
I'll be in the circus.
I'll be at Circa 20.
Gotcha.
I am in a circus.
My
And,
daughter does softball, unfortunately.
Laura, is there anything else you'd like us to do to help? For Friday?
It's really just coming together, so I asked Cindy if we could look at the venue maybe early Friday and start setting up as much as we could. The entertainer will be here around 4 o'clock. He's from Burlington. We talked about his setup where he'd like to be.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's just all gonna come together.
Awesome.
We've got raffle baskets being donated. They'll be brought up there and put on a table and
Can I donate a basket?
absolutely. Yeah,
I can do that. I can't come because my daughter has softball, but I would love to donate. a
yeah,
basket.
absolutely. We've
When do you
had,
need them by?
just by that day.
Friday morning, maybe?
Yeah, Friday morning's fine. We've had a lot of baskets come in. Grease Monkey said they were gonna do a basket. Dr. Maker did a basket. The hair salon, Kathleen did a basket. A lot of the businesses are super excited. They love what we do for beautifying the city. And hopefully this is going to allow us to do a lot more future projects. At the event, I'll be talking about our future projects and where we go from there.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for all you do.
Yes, absolutely. We really appreciate everything.
What a breath of.
I don't know if I'm dressing up Friday.
It's optional.
I don't know if I'm wearing this speakeasy theme, so it's like old, like 20s.
Oh my God.
You don't-
A zoot suit.
you don't have to.
Zoot suit, and
Got
so it's like, I don't know.
Wear your sidearm.
No.
Tommy gun.
And Laura, if you ever have any ideas that you want to do for the beautification team, if you could share that with us sometime too. If you have any future.
Well, our top projects to get done this year are obviously the curb ovals. Again, we're going to plant, and we are attacking the Memorial Garden. We've got Judy Medley, who was one of the core anchors of that project with John Swan. They both have been in contact with me. I told them and I told our volunteers that we want to honor their initial intent and their initial movement. I don't want anyone to just go in there and take over without conferring with them. And they have been very helpful and very excited. And they're so grateful that someone is doing it and also including them. So I just figured, I never worry about how we're going to fund it or how it's going to get done because it just eventually gets done because people get excited and they want to have a hand in it. Main part is cleaning out that pond. I don't know the first thing about ponds, but there's people out there that do. So I just get in contact with people that know more than I do and we get it done. So we've got to clean it out, look at the condition of the liner, look at the condition of the pumps and the water feature and just make it happen. So that's, I had a conversation with Judy Medley and I feel very, very strongly. So many people donated back in the day to that park for their loved ones or when they passed away as a memorial. And when you walk through that park right now, the memorials are bent, broken, destroyed. It is not, it's shameful. And we really have to improve it and get it back to its original shape as much as we can, within our ability. But
I was there the other day, we were looking, I don't know, were you there in the spring? Did you notice the bulbs and
Yeah.
stuff? There's about 80 plants that came up.
yeah, I took some pictures. Yeah.
So we were there the other day when we did our walkthrough for parks. On a sad note, the one flag that's missing, the POW, is a city flag, like donated by the city parks. And so I am going to try and get that rectified here.
We should have
Right
it
away.
so we can have, you want to take care of that on yourself or the city should be able to, I think we have flags somewhere.
It's a POW flag.
Yeah,
So
Was that
Lola
the action figure?
Lola
Black and
Odenwald's
white.
daughter, I'm sorry, I have her name written at work, had stopped in and said that on behalf of the family, they would like to donate all new flags as long as they're within the $50 price range each.
The flags looked really nice.
So which ones were donated last year?
I think
Didn't
we-
my dad
we-
donate some
no,
last
I
year?
don't know if he did, but I thought Ryan repaid, we purchased new flags, but I don't remember which one.
They looked really nice. We
Yeah, but
looked
one-
at them when we were there.
Like you said, the one is.
The one that's
completely down.
missing is the POW. And it says
I think-
donated by Kelowna Parks.
Wasn't it just last summer, last fall, my dad donated some flags down there, didn't he?
For the time
Like
Massey
Kelowna.
Park.
Oh, for the Time Massey Park.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
donated for the time Massey.
Okay, gotcha.
Ryan
The
were,
police
but he didn't
memorial.
want- we were
Okay.
the ones.
So we should really look into getting that one.
Yeah, POW flag.
Yeah, otherwise the other flags all looked great. They even had a space one up. I was shocked that there was even space, the spot.
Space Force. So yeah, I didn't know if anyone had any questions about the team or the fundraiser or anything. I did purchase the additional insurance. I know I spoke to you, we're willing to pay whatever it costs to use the facility. I know it was discussed in length, so we just, we wanna do everything right, so.
Great job.
Yep, I think
Thank you.
it's a great thing, so.
Well, we'll see if it is a good event Friday. It's a lot on my mind. It's a big
Yeah.
undertaking to not know how it's gonna turn out.
That'll be great.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate
you.
it. All right, next up, consent agenda. Kind of went out of order to get everybody else, the visitors in. Approving meeting minutes from February 24th.
a motion to approve.
I'll second.
See you next month. See you next month.
Yeah. CS Andover, I think.
In Andover, yeah.
See you Friday, but if you need something before, please connect.
We sure will, yeah.
Let
Thank
me
you.
know.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye,
Have a
thank
great
you.
afternoon.
Are you gonna be at the police station on Friday morning?
I took Friday out to get
Okay.
ready.
I can take it up to the campground?
You'll find me there, yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that kind of covers our, the unfinished business. for
God, you guys
ABT
are so
related.
blessed to have her.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I don't have specific dates for this, the community initiative from Hometown Consulting at this point. I was hoping to have a list today, but I don't. But just to kind of, we're supposed to be setting up a meeting before we bring it back to the council again, where the Hometown Consulting will go over our next steps, give us more dates to go through. I do know that we have a dinner in June, so I believe Mayor Johnson sent out an email whether or not anybody else wants to go. I said that I would go.
Is that the one in Peoria?
Yes.
It's just you and I.
Believe
Nobody else responded or could go, so.
that was it was like a Tuesday or a Thursday in June. Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Of course. So
Wednesday, June 10th.
if that is something you guys would want, we need to know as soon as possible.
RSVP deadline is the 18th, I just looked it up,
Is it okay? So yeah, that means
June what?
June 10th in Metamora.
June 10th, where at Metamora?
Yeah, so we need to have RSVPs in by Monday. So,
Do you wanna go with us?
I'm looking. I'm always somewhere. Let's see, June 10th.
June 10th is
we can
Is this
carpool.
something we gotta pay for, or
No.
is this part of your deal?
Yes.
I do need to get in front of Cole. This is their grantees dinner.
Yeah, we'd have to go, we have to send a rep, yeah.
Mhm.
RSVP me.
I
I'll
can't
go.
do that right now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to direct you. I did not.
You know, my ego gets checked at the door, my friend.
Can you, somebody send me that email on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send that to me, because I'll put that, I am open, I will put that in my calendar, I will attend. I'm sure, well, no, they won't be there, but, yeah. I will go.
All right.
I don't know what I just committed to, but I'll go. I heard free dinner. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you know what? If that's what gets some of us there, it'll be a good experience though to be able to network with some of the other communities that are going through this as well.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna know a lot of them, so.
Yeah.
This is good.
And where's it at?
It's in Peoria.
Metamora, Peoria. Sure, let's get popping on here.
All right, and then we already hit new business, and then I guess if there's anything else that the mayor has.
Real quick, finally got the Kelowna Scott Family Park interstate signs approved by the state. For a while, I did, yeah, and so that will come to council, not because of the individual purchase for the signs. The design and the signs themselves are about $1,500, which is a one-time fee, but what I like to do is there's an annual rental cost of $720 for all the signs. And we'll have to pay that annually, and I like the annual fees or monthly fees that are reoccurring to come to council for approval. Now, they want me to have the signs to Dixon by June 12th. I'm gonna ask for a minor extension, but if you guys remember, I will not be here the next meeting. So I am gonna ask that it's on both the cow agenda and the council agenda, so if you guys wouldn't mind help explaining that. But do you guys have any questions on that? If you wanna see the sign, I'll show you real quick. I know everybody wants to go, but pretty neat that we got it done finally. Because as Jim will tell you, it's actually quite a bit of work to get it done.
And this is on 80.
On 80, yeah, on Route 6. So there'll be signs on Route 6 on the ramps, and there'll be two big signs up on
On both
Interstate
ends?
80 on both ends.
So we've got 3 total signs.
So 6 total,
Six.
two on the ramps each side and 1 on 80.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's far in there.
Yeah, so that we do have funds available in the Scott Family Park, budget for that. And where is it? Let's see.
So both sides of I-80 coming into town from either
Yeah.
side, and which one? And what else?
And then it'll be on
Route 6.
the ramps on Route 6 to,
I got a vision of a brown sign, am I right?
nope,
Nope. What I get a
we
vision?
had to go with Kelowna Green.
Awesome. Okay.
Kelowna Green.
Nice.
Excellent.
I like it.
Yeah.
So it'll be on the agenda, so if you guys can explain it, well, because I won't be here, but yeah, this will be it's $1,500 and some dollars, then there's a $100 application fee is one time, the $1,500 one time, and then the annual is $720. But I really do believe, like to Jen's point before, we talked about on the phone earlier, like people will see it, they'll stop off with their dogs, maybe they'll fill up their car with gas, maybe they'll get something to eat. You know, that's what we're really trying to drive, is to get that traffic off the interstate and get them back to the park, and they really don't have any signs now to do that. And so-
Non-resident revenue.
Yeah, I know there are. So I learned that from you. So super pumped about that. Outside of that, I think that was all I got, but yep, we'll get that done next meeting.
Awesome.
Go from there.
We're supposed to set up dates for the Zoom meeting with SCI.
Not yet.
Okay, I thought it was like next week, sorry.
No, we don't have anything set up yet with,
Oh,
for
and he
that.
wants the,
Did any of the businesses that applied for these signs, did you any responses on those?
well, I submitted Urums for him, Maria's.
Was that the only one?
I believe Swanee's sent in, but they're
Okay.
delayed. And, you know, I can check with Kevin too, but last I knew they were delayed because of road construction. And so they were like, we can't get, because it's so narrow, even on either side, they're like, we can't get to it, but
So it was just Swanee's and Maria's?
those are the only two that I know. The I-80 Cafe was very interested in them. But I don't know if they submitted their application or not. I hope they did, because I know they want, but they got road construction, and that's what's not in over
For
right
some reason, I
now.
feel like they got a billboard. I might be crazy. Thinking that. Or there was,
So, yeah, hopefully they are, because I'd love to see that. The food's good.
yeah.
And,
It's right off the interstate. That's perfect.
Right.
What's that?
It's right off the interstate, so it's
Yeah.
perfect. Instead of coming into town.
all right, that's all I
I'll make a
got.
motion to adjourn.
All right, sounds good.
You
Then
got it in your email.
we
Or that, you
will
bet.
Okay.
adjourn at
And then if you got-
6:41.
I'm gonna chat with you, but I gotta make a phone call really quick in order to be.
Quick minute, you said?
Yeah, quick